We all know that dog is man's best friend. But have you ever heard of dog, the builder of bridges, or dog, the community uplifter? Well, when Dr. Annelies Roos embarked on a mass sterilisation program in the unremarkable Cape Town township of Klipheuwel in June 2012, little did she know that her endeavour for the dogs would build bridges of cooperation, almost overnight, between race, culture, class and age, in ways that no one had expected. In fact, Klipheuwel, once just another impoverished, tucked-away community, has become a showcase of social upliftment and the prototype for similar projects around the Western Cape.
For the last 4 years, I have devoted my time exclusively to doing surgery and particularly focusing on sterilizations for various animal welfare organizations. The reason was to stem the misery that is created by overpet population and also pet reproduction. Despite round-the-clock work by many devoted animal welfare workers, we have not been winning. More and more puppies are being produced and the subsequent abuse that goes with that. With all the efforts, hundreds of animals were sterilized on a daily basis. But in spite of that, more than 12,000 animals were unwanted and had subsequently been put to sleep just in the greater Cape Town area every single month. And the puppies kept coming. We decided to choose Klipheuwel. Klipheuwel is a relatively small and contained area and an ideal area to serve as a model. And Klipheuwel worked.
To get started, Dr. Roos put a team of volunteers together to conduct a household and pet census. It was figures like these that made Premier Helen Zille determined to support a mass sterilisation endeavour throughout the Western Cape.
When there are too many cats and dogs and other pets in a community that nobody wants, and when they keep on having babies that nobody wants, it is a very real risk to the animals themselves and to the people in that community. Nobody wants the animals. They get hungry, they get sick, they suffer, and often they spread their sicknesses to people. Things like scabies and worms and other illnesses. And that is misery for everybody. So it's our responsibility to help reduce the number of dogs and cats to those that people actually want to look after, so that we don't have the risk to the animals and to the people. And so we've got a lot to do in partnership with the community and with vets to vaccinate animals and to sterilize them, so that we can have a pet population that people want, that dogs and cats can be loved and cared for because their owners want them and care for them. And we need to partner with you to do that. That is why the projects that we have launched with the community are so important. To first count the dogs and cats, and then to sterilize them so that we can be a model project for the rest of the country.
The basic formula for success to control an animal population, you have to involve the community. Not only involve them, educate them and uplift them and have them participating in the process. One has to initiate an extensive educational program in the community. Members of the community, the traditional leaders, the church leaders, law enforcement, local businesses, and outreach programs who are existing in the area already.
Then came voluntary support from all sides, even from quarters that Dr. Roos hadn't yet dreamed of. Dancers Love Dogs, founded by Bridget Reeve Taylor, raised money. Ben Teron of Warm Water for All laid on hot water, and the action began.
The golden rule that has been identified by many successful international dog population management studies would be to sterilize a minimum of 70% of pets in any geographical area within a period of 6 months. In the case of Klipheuwel, we have managed to obtain a 97% sterilized pet population.
Karen, show me how you inject the transponder in the animal. There you are. You grab a piece of skin, you push in the needle, and then that's all there is. Now the transponder is under the skin.
While Dr. Roos and her team were busy sterilizing the dogs and cats, Louise van der Merwe, founder of the Humane Education Trust, brought humane education to Klipheuwel's learners, starting with the very young. With a major input at the local primary school.
Humane education is a new area of concern. It's developing, and we are constantly reinventing how best to reach into the hearts and minds of children so that we can create a society that cares. If the children do not know why we have a mass sterilization project underway, they cannot be part of the solution. This is one of the books we give to the learners. It comprises 6 stories on animal care, whether it's sterilization or what to do if your pet has fleas and ticks. You know, dogs are killed for being flea-ridden and tick-ridden. One particular story is this one, Lucy and her beautiful pet. And we learn how wonderful it is to have kittens. When the cat has kittens and how adorable they are. And all very nice until we have to find homes for the kittens, and that's when the problems set in. And of course, in this case, Granny comes to the rescue with the solution. So all of these things enable our learners to become responsible companions to their companion animals.
The Humane Education Trust asked drawing analyst Yossi Visoka to do a scientific assessment of the impact of humane education by studying the changes in children's drawings.
In humane education, we get understanding, respect and compassion towards ourselves, very important, and towards each other. Each other means the fellow man or another living being. Somehow human education comes in order to balance what the children didn't get at home and to bring it to them the positive way at school. But when we ask children to draw subconsciously, they draw their feelings. Statistically, we found that they wouldn't draw anything but what they feel. We want to go to schools to check the drawing of the children before, during and after we run the program. And then to be able to find out the progress in the children's perception. Hopefully, we are going to find that progress, and then we will be able to say, Eureka, we found the solution. This is the solution for children to enrich their perception about compassion and respect, which is the most important thing in life.
In 2012, South Africa became one of the first countries in the world to have humane education embedded in the national curriculum for schools.
As we develop in education, in particular, we're looking at ways of protecting our animals. Our animals are so important, and I'm working within the Western Cape Education Department, and one of my portfolios, in fact, is life orientation, which is a subject. And for our primary schools, we're passionate about teaching learners values, and they're so important. And one of the areas that we're looking at, how we teach our young learners to look after animals. And humane education came almost at the right spot, at the right time, within our curriculum in South Africa. When we're looking at really digging up our values and jacking up our values for our young learners. For me as an educator, I still believe the long-term solution for me is education. If we can get it right between the ears of young people, I think we will win a lot. We will invest in the value system. So for the future, as we move into the future, as they become young adults, they'll be better equipped to deal with the issue of animal life as fellow living species within our society.
Mrs. Sonia Abrahams, head of the department for the intermediate phase at Klipheuwel Primary School, said that humane education had already brought new words to the vocabulary of learners.
Ek dink die Wolly van die hero storie, die Wolly die eerste enetjie, ek dink die kinders geniet daardie enetjie baie lekker en hulle hoe kan 'n mens nou sê hulle vereenseldig hulle self met die diertjie en hulle kry ook seer en een van my dogtertjies het glad gehuil oor die storieetjie gesê mens moenie 'n hondjie so behandel nie want sy het ook so 'n hondjie en mens moet baie liefdevol wees en daar kry ons nog 'n woordeskat wat so by is en toe skryf ek die woordjie liefdevol op die bord en ek dink die boek maak 'n baie goeie voorbeeld vir ons as groot mense en as kinders.
Meanwhile, back at the mass sterilisation depot, Katerina has come to collect her animals.
Ek het 5 diere.
Ja.
1 hondjie en 4 katjies.
Oh, en is allemaal nou gesteriliseerd?
Ja, mevrou.
Die dokter was?
Ja, mevrou. Oh, en ek voel baie bly daaroor.
The last essential element would be to leave behind an infrastructure in order to maintain this program. It is no use to establish something and leave it to deteriorate. So one has to identify a so-called champion worker in the community who is then in touch with an animal welfare organisation who can refer the animal to a vet. We will also maintain the program by, on a 6-monthly basis, do sterilisations as required. We need to turn who cares into I care and so what into what if. Klipheuwel residents have shown us that it can be done.